Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another 10-minute openings video. Today we are taking a deep dive into our first E4 based opening. I know it's the first one. We've already done a bunch of episodes, but today's the first one. And today we're going to be talking about the King's Gambit, which if you watched my Queen's Gambit video, if you haven't watched my Queen's Gambit video, go do that. It's quite a popular video on my channel right now. But right now we're talking about the King's Gambit, which is kind of similar. And I'm going to be showing you the moves now. So it starts with e4 and your opponent plays e5. Now this is an e4, e5 based opening, just like the Queen's Gambit. It is only played after d4, d5. And here you're going to play the move f4. This is the King's Gambit. If you were in another game going to play the move d4, okay, this is the Danish Gambit, but we're not talking about the Danish Gambit today. We're talking about the King's Gambit. And we're talking about the King's Gambit accepted first. Now, the first move you want to be playing is the move knight to f3, not only to stop this pawn from moving, but also to protect against this square from the queen coming there. And your next moves are going to be just the same as there would be in a Queen's Gambit. You're going to bring the light square bishop out, you're going to bring the knight to c3, and you're going to hopefully go the move d4. Now, let me show you. Let's say your opponent plays somewhat non-threatening, and they go something like knight to c6. You're going to go knight to c3 immediately, just to take control of the center, and then your next moves will be d4, and you're going to bring the bishop out. Let's say they play the move knight to f6. You will play the move now, let's see, actually, after knight to f6, you're going to play the move d4, okay? And then take this pawn back. So, let's say they play, a move like bishop to b4 is quite, it's a normal move. And after bishop to b4, you want to protect this pawn, right? So that can be done with a variety of moves. You can even bring up the queen, but maybe maybe a better move would be bishop to d3. And then after this, you take back with the pawn, right? Let's say the castle. And you can castle too, or you can take back this pawn. Taking back the pawn is totally fine. And now this is your position, right? So now you want to think about castling, right? After castling, let's say your opponent, goes rook to e8, and now you want to castle. But first, this pawn is hanging, so you want to be careful. You don't want that to be happening, so maybe go e5, okay? And they move the knight. Let's say they move it here, and then you just go back. This way you protect the bishop, and you also defend this pawn, okay? And now you can castle. You can bring the knight over here and, just go up and at him like that. Okay, now let us go back. This is if your opponent played this very specific type of move. Now, let's say e4, e5, f4, they take, you go here. Let's say they play more aggressive, right? Let's say they go here. Let's say they go after this. Let's say they go, I don't know. You want to take this pawn back. I don't know. You go here and they go here. Okay? After this, you have this trade, right? Nothing to be afraid of here. The only thing is you want to make sure this pawn is defended adequately, right? So here it's fine because you have the queen and the knight, and the knight is defended by the queen, so you can take back with the bishop. And now this is fine. You're attacking this pawn. You can bring this bishop out. You can castle. Here, it's a toss-up. Okay, so here I probably would not recommend castling kingside, because the reason is these lines here are very open, and I would not recommend that. So maybe bring the queen and castle queenside, right? That could be better. Now let me get a new board and let us talk about if your opponent does not even take. What if your opponent does not even take? If they don't take, if they do something like, in the case of the Queen's Gambit, the Queen's Gambit player would go knight to f6, right? Let's say they go knight to c6. Here, I would recommend developing the exact same as you would in the Queen's Gambit. So knight to f3, and here you can play bishop d3, but bishop c4 is fine too. And let's say they play kind of like a copycat variation, right? Like this and like this. And let's say you can't castle, and you can't go here. So now what? Well, now, after this, okay, castles, black castles, and you cannot castle here, right? Because the bishop sees you. So now what are you going to do? Okay, so here it could be kind of hard to know what to do, right? Because you can't castle and the pawns are here, whatever. Here I recommend taking, obviously. Okay, because they don't want to take back. So they have to go somewhere, right? They have to go somewhere. And I mean, where are they going to go, right? They can go to E8, but that's kind of a sucky place, right? They can go to H5, right? I didn't mean to say that word, I'm sorry. Let's say it's a non-desirable place to go. They can go to H5, that's a little bit more desirable, okay? You want to get rid of this bishop, okay? Which is very easy now. You just go like that. Right? Not that it really wasn't before, but now you can do this, and they don't really want to take because then they'd lose a piece. So they go back, and now you can castle. Okay, and now problem solved for now. Here, I would recommend going, like, I'm not trying to just copy what the engine says, but here I do think knight to d5 is a very nice move. You attack the bishop, and you threaten this, right? So it can be pretty easily parried, but it's just very nice to have this knight solidly in the center, just like solidly in there, having some force in the center. Now, what does black play? What does black play? The engine wants d6, which makes sense. You want to break apart the pawn structure. Here, I mean, I would probably do it because actually black probably would not take with the pawn. They would probably take with the bishop because this leads a very bad pawn structure. Okay, now the engine also wants bishop to f4, which also makes sense. So here, possibly a move like e5 to discourage that. Okay, and the reason for e5 is now that you have this light square bishop out, this light square bishop has very nice diagonal vision, especially with the king on the same diagonal, and the dark square bishop can actually get out somewhat. You know, it's not perfect, but it can actually get out. So now what I'm thinking is you have the light square bishop out, the dark square bishop has nice vision, bring the knight in, bring the rook in, maybe bring the queen, bring the other rook in, and push this pawn, right? Push this pawn. I know that's a lot of arrows, but believe me, I can do a lot more than that, right? Just see how many arrows I can do. Okay? So just take a look at this, and this is exactly what you want to be doing. If this doesn't make sense to you, I don't know why. This should absolutely make total sense to you. And if it doesn't, then, I mean, maybe just start playing checkers. I don't know. Also, if you've been wondering what my shirt says, it's a quote from Emmanuel Lasker. He is the, oh gosh, do I even know? Second or third world champion in history, after, what's his name? Anyway, one of the first guys. And basically it says, when you see a good move, look for a better one. And it says Emmanuel Lasker. If you guys want this, I'm selling this and this shirt and the sticker that you see on the screen here. I'm selling all of these on my website. Go check it out. Link in the top link in the description. 30% off if you use code PAWNSTORM at checkout. Do that. Support the channel. I know I'm doing a plug here, but I don't care because you guys are watching the video. And thank you. Now, for the last minute or so of the video, let's talk about the variations of this. What if your opponent does not even go e5? They don't go e5, learn something besides the King's Gambit. It's that simple. Okay? If they go e6, you got to learn maybe the French. Or just learn something fun, you know? Just learn something, just learn to take control of the center without learning. You don't have to learn openings, guys. I mean, it's very helpful to, but you don't have to. Just learn to, not that though, but I mean this, if they go here, just learn to develop, right? It's a very easy thing to do, okay? If they go here, don't do that. Go here, right? Castle early. Okay, they castle, take control of the center, make sure all your pieces are defended if they don't play e5. Okay? And maybe I have some anti-Sicilian stuff coming in the future because I think that could be very helpful. For example, I know we're off, you know, I know we're ahead again. I know we're, you know, like this. But a variation of the Sicilian that I like very much is the delayed wing gambit. So it looks like this. So knight c6, this, and you gambit the pawn, right? This, and now they move. You kick the knight out. You have all these pawns. Boom, boom, boom. You can even put another one in. Bring the knight. Bring the bishop. Bring the bishop. Castle. Bring the knight. Look at this. This is what proper chess should look like, right? Taking control of the center, pushing your opponent back, squeezing them, right? It's how the Russians learned to play. It's what Boris Spassky learned to do before he went on to get beat by Fischer, you know? In what people have said and still say the greatest chess game ever played, Game 6 of 1972 World Championship between Fischer and Spassky. This is good. I mean, this is like, I know this is totally not King's Gambit stuff, but I can't tell you enough how important it is to just learn the basics of proper chess playing, you know? So I hope you enjoyed. I know we went a little long. I know it wasn't totally theory on the King's Gambit, but again, basic stuff. And if you encounter something besides e5, okay, besides King's Gambit theory, learn something, you know. And if you don't want to learn openings, you don't want to do that, that's fine. Just learn to develop your pieces, learn basic stuff, castle early. Just remember those things. Most important things you can learn besides openings, just the basics. Develop your pieces, protect your pieces, right? Make sure your pieces are defended, and possibly one of the most important, if not the most important, is king safety. Okay. Again, hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to check out the Pawn Storm website, link down below. Check out, you can get this shirt, the sticker you see on screen, and just support the channel. 30% off with the code Pawnstorm30 at checkout. See you all on the next video. Hope you all enjoyed.